Hello everybody, my name is David Sassoon and I will be walking you through how to use the duty calendar once you've already set it up. If you haven't set it up yet, please see the other video, which is the duty calendar setup. So first I'm going to do is just walk you through the elements of this sheet. First of all, you'll notice that there is a sheet for each month. Ta-da! November! So let's just hang out in August for a little bit. Then over here on the right, you'll notice that there's this table. This is where you'll see the cumulative count. So this will total the current month and all previous months. Then what you'll notice is to the right of this, on every month beyond August, so I'll go into September, is you'll notice there's this other table. This is what I'll call the pivot table. This is where the data accumulates from all previous months. So in September, it'll have August's data. In October, it'll have August and September's data. And I'll just hang out in August again. The next piece is this little function down here, the pass function. This shows you who is physically highest up on this list and who has the lowest number. So first it looks for the lowest number, which in our case here is 0, and then it looks for who's highest up, which is Julia. And then the last piece of this is this little table here. What this does, it allows me to change who starts. So right now Julia is in position 1. If I change this to a 5, let's say, what'll happen is Sam will move to position 1. It's sort of like a batting order, a rotation. And again, you'll notice with this function here, we look for 0 and who's highest up. So I'll put this back at 1. So those are the elements. Now I'm going to walk you through what scheduling will actually look like. I'll do a couple months. So depending on how you schedule, it's going to be a little bit different, but this premise is still the same. So just you have to sort of pay attention and make sure you know what you're doing. If you schedule weekdays and weekends separately, then you'll just schedule them separately, and that's fine. And you'll do it based on weekdays and weekends. So let's do weekdays first. In Dickinson, in this example, Thursday is considered a weekend. So let's say we do weekdays first. Julia decides she wants the 3rd. What you'll notice is now, again, we look for the lowest number, which is 0, and whoever's highest up, which is Alex. However, in terms of weekends, Julia would still be going first. So it's Julia's turn. Let's just let her pick another day. So let's give her the 7th. Then Alex would pick a weekday and a weekend. There goes Alex. And what you'll notice is as I'm typing it in, the conditional formatting is picking it up. Let's put Lizzie in here. Let's put Lizzie in here. You don't have to do weekdays and weekends at the same time. I just think it's easier. If you differentiate between the two, it's just easier to have one person pick a couple days at a time. It makes the process move a lot quicker, but as you can see, I can do them separately. And it won't be an issue. It still tracks who's taking weekdays and who is taking weekends. And I'm just going to go through. And granted, there will be some times when someone won't be able to take the last day, and that's when you'll have to be on your own and just know to ignore the functions. So I'll demonstrate that with weekends. So let's finish scheduling out weekends. So now we're on the last day, right? Let's assume Olivia, for some reason, cannot take the 28th. And that's fine. That's okay. We want our RAs to have a life. So what you'll do is you, on your own, will just remember to ignore that function and move to whoever's next in the list. So after Olivia comes Julia. So then you would put Julia in. But let's just say Julia can't take that day either. Let's say Alex can't take that day. Let's say Lizzie can't take that day. You keep going until someone can take that day. Presumably, there's at least one person on staff who can take that day. Let's assume Jay is the one who can take that day. Thank you, Jay, for helping us out. And so what you'll notice is Olivia still is supposed to be next, and it's telling us that, but we're just going ahead and doing what we need to do anyways. Once you've done all of this, what you're going to do is you're going to zoom out so that you can see the entire calendar. And then what you're going to do is, if you're on a PC, you're going to use the snipping tool. If you don't already have it pinned to your taskbar or somewhere accessible, just search through your computer for it. It's pretty easy to find. Just type in snipping. If you're on a Mac, you will hit Command-Shift-3, and it'll do the same thing. So clicking New, it's the same thing as clicking Command-Shift-3. Command-Shift-3 on a Mac, and then you'll click and drag, selecting the calendar itself. And then you'll save this, and you'll call this Dickinson CD August duty. And you can save this wherever you want. And then this is what would be sent out to the staff. Don't send them the Excel workbook. That just gives them a chance to possibly type over it, make mistakes, screw something up. I wouldn't presume that they would do something maliciously, but it just happens sometimes that they make silly mistakes and it causes problems. So there it is. We're going to click close. Then what we're going to do is, now let's say it's the end of August and now we need to schedule September. Here we go. We go into September. The first thing you need to do is go over to this table, which is on the far right. If you don't see it, just scroll to the right. Right click anywhere in there and click refresh. You'll notice that this will populate with the exact same numbers that we had over in August. Again, my numbers are a little small now, but trust me, those are the numbers. And what you'll notice again is that it's still telling Olivia to schedule because she has the fewest, so she'll make it up this month. If you want, you can change who goes first. Personally, I would do it by a random lottery. You sort of just have the months and have your staff members pick the random sheets of paper. Whichever one they get, that's when they get to go first. That sort of thing. Whatever works for you. If you want to do 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and then keep going until you run out of months, that's up to you too. But let's just change it up and let's put 4 first, just so that you can see. Again, it's still telling us that Olivia needs to go first in terms of weekends, but Jay needs to go first in terms of weekdays. Again, you'll go through if you separate out weekdays and weekends. But now for this time around in September, let's look at if we just do it by totals. If we just do it by totals, all we need to focus on is this column here. And so now Olivia can pick any day, weekday or weekend, it doesn't matter. Olivia. And Sam can pick a day, and pick a weekend instead of a weekday if he wants, and he'll just do it based on totals. And now once I type Olivia in, before I hit enter, I just want you to see something here. Right now, she's at 4. When I hit enter, she's going to go up to 5. When she goes up to 5, everyone will have 5, which means Jay should be next. And what do you know? It tells me Jay needs to schedule next. So that's just a way to easy check, is just make sure it's working the way you want it to. Again, if you want it, however you want to do it. If you want to do it based on totals, that's fine. If you want to do it based on weekdays versus weekends, that's fine too. Just remember, you go through the days, you refresh, screenshot, all that sort of good stuff. And that's all it takes. I hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.